Good morning, Sima. You might not have the budget to travel around the world to see all these iconic buildings, but here at the Henry Ford Museum, you can easily walk from Australia to Shanghai to Tokyo, where I find Cynthia. Cynthia, this is a really neat Lego exhibit where the architecture of these iconic buildings are just so specifically built to scale, getting so many details.
That's absolutely true. So it's a 1 to 200 scale, so it gives you perspective on how big the building actually is. But then Ryan McNaught, the master builder of each of these buildings, had to figure out how to translate that architecture. So this building in front of us, from Tokyo, Tokyo's tallest building.
And this is the Tokyo Sky Tree, by the way. And again, the real thing is 200 times taller. This is really interesting. The challenge he had here starts at the bottom with that triangle.
It does. So he had to figure out how to take a building that's actually built as a triangle at the bottom and then becomes a circle, and how to mimic that architecture. So he created a jumper system to basically make the Lego bricks jump from one to the next to be able to do the spin and make it work.
Wow, that's really amazing. So playing with Legos can really teach kids a lot of really useful skills. The architecture is amazing, the details and all the buildings. And speaking of some of those details, look at these buildings, just how different each one is. Some of them curve, some of them have edges. These are some of the iconic buildings from Australia. Q1 Gold Coast, is that this one?
That is. So that's from the Gold Coast, which is kind of like the Miami Beach of Australia. Fantastic building. You'll also see on a lot of these gardens, because we've really started to think about how green space plays into very large architecture.
I love that. And just the detail from the shapes to the gardens to the pools to the parking garage. You can see every little thing. We have buildings here from Dubai, Shanghai, as you can see from Sydney, as we're looking at the Sydney Crown Sydney Hotel Resort just there. Detroit even. There are buildings from Detroit, New York City coming up. Though in the next segment, we're going to take a look at some buildings closer to home, some iconic buildings from Canada and Detroit. Really, really fascinating. So don't go anywhere. Sima, back to you.